everyone. How are we doing on this beautiful day? This is William. I'm your host for Is Your Boss an Idiot? Couple quick things I just want to go over. I know I mentioned it before. Hey, I'm just starting out on these podcasts, so if we got some issues or problems with sound, editing, whatnot, I apologize. I'm still trying to work out the kinks and everything with this whole gig. So, again, my apologies, but hey, I appreciate you people out there listening, and we got some great stories for you today. So, this kind of falls in line, is your boss an idiot, or is it more as an a-hole? But, the first one I kind of want to kind of touch base on again. This is some time ago at a place I was working at, and I got a couple about this moron. This was the guy that his son took over the company and just completely ran it into the ground. And this guy should have been on he was on medication, but I think he needed to be on a lot more medication. But on one instance, there was a day I had a doctor's appointment, and I let him know that. I went into work first, and then I had to leave because the doctor was, only about 10 minutes from where my office was at. And hey, I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be at the doctor's office because I got to get some, tests done or whatnot. And so I'm at the doctor's office, and as you can probably guess what happened, I'm sitting in the waiting room, just about ready to go in, and what happens? My phone rings. It's him asking me a question. And I'm like, I'm going into the back of the doctor, what do you need? And he just didn't even hear me. So one of those deals, boss, in one ear, out the other. It doesn't give two shits about what's got going on in your life. It's all about him. So but I'm just like absolutely baffled. I told you multiple times where I was at. I told you when I left, I'll be at the doctor, and I'll be back in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. But no, he calls, and like it was no big deal. And he didn't care. He didn't call and say, hey, I apologize for, calling. I know you're at the doctor's office, but I got something real important to do a quick question on if you can answer it. No, just went right into what he wanted, and that was it. I was like, Jesus Christ. But this idiot, too, and the guy that was my direct superior at this place, here's another instance. So we had a customer that, had a kind of an emergency, and was looking to get these parts over to him because they were being held up without having them. So I'm like, okay, I'll run them out to you, not a problem. I'll probably have them over there to you around 12:30ish, roughly, something like that. So, I left on my lunch hour to run these over to the customer because God knows they wouldn't have said, yeah, run them over there to you, take care of the customer, service the customer. Because, it always baffles me to no end. You have these superiors, these bosses or whatnot, that think your time is more valuable, more important just sitting at your desk and then actually servicing your customers. That is key, is keeping your customer happy. If they need something, you can make it happen, you do it. I'm a huge advocate of that. If you have, something that's critical like that, something that needs to be run over to, something needs to be picked up from them, you go do it. You get up, that's what you're there for. You're there to take care of the customer and service your customer, to keep them happy, to keep them coming back. But these morons, no, they don't think of that way. So, I left on my lunch hour. Like I said, ran it over there, got it. So, on my way back, I get a phone call. So, mind you, I'm on lunch, asking where I'm at. I'm like, well, I'm at lunch, but I'm running something over to so-and-so. Well, when you get back in, we need to talk. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, are you kidding me? So, I get back, and I get a talking to about leaving on my lunch hour to go take care of a customer. I was absolutely just astonished that they had this mindset it was unbelievable that because I got in trouble for leaving to go take care of a customer to make them happy. And mind you too, when I got to the customer, got him there, he was so happy I was able to give it to him that quick and that morning that he was able to continue on and finish up what they were putting together. This guy was ecstatic because I really appreciate it so much. I appreciate you running this out, blah blah blah, that whole 9 yards. So hey, great, you know what? And the 10, 15 minutes I was in front of whatnot talking about or anything like that, that goes miles and miles in customer satisfaction and them coming back to you because they'll remember that. But, these people, absolutely no clue. Absolutely no clue. I mean, just unfrickin' believable. Now, I got this other one, and this one kind of really chafes my ass because this is unbelievable. This one will make you cringe. This one will just make you shake your head and going, who is this fucking asshole? And, you want to go shoot him because the guy still owns the place. So way back, on 9/11 at this time, I was working at a BMW dealership. And again, I'm not going to name the dealership, but I'll just let you know it was a BMW dealership. Anyway, Monday morning at 9/11, obviously we're all at our desk, everything like that. And then at this place in this, showroom area that you got your offices and, all the offices, each person had their own separate office overlooking the showroom, everything like that. So, I'm sitting there, mine overlooks showroom, car parked in front of me, blah, blah, blah. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden one of the guys from out back in service comes walking by really fast and, hey, drops the bomb. They just flew some planes into the World Trade Center. It started going on. It's like, holy shit. And like, what? He goes, yeah, they just flew some planes in the World Trade Center. We're being attacked as terrorism, whatever. And so I obviously, the internet popped it on, and start watching what was unfolding. Absolute horror. As everyone was, just like watching this unfold and everything right in front of your eyes. And it's just like, this is unbelievable. Everyone's freaking out. Don't know, oh my God, is this going to go, is this across the country? No one knew what the extent of what was going to happen. What was their plan? Obviously, after the fact, we figured, it was only those three places that got, the World Trade Center, and the Pentagon, and then the other plane, went down in the field. But, everyone was worried. They grounded all the planes, no air traffic. It was just, people were scared shitless because we thought maybe the whole country was going to be under attack. Are they bombing everything? Who knows? And, so this was a really nervous time. Well, so from that point, obviously from the first plane hit and whatnot, and probably like 2 hours after that, everything's just like, people don't know what to do. It's like, should we go home? Should we do this shit down? It's okay. The owner of the dealership comes walking by, and I'm at my desk, I'm watching what's going on, like freaking out, and he puts his head into my office. What are you doing? Sorry about that, it's my phone. He goes, what are you doing? He goes, get on the phone, make some calls. He actually wanted me to get on the phone to start selling cars, to start calling people that were interested about buying a car on 9/11, after all this happened. Are you shitting me? This was this guy's mentality. Needless to say, I wasn't there much longer. After a couple more weeks later, I quit. I couldn't work for this guy because he was just a complete moron. Again, it just goes back to, it just baffles me. And this guy had a silver spoon up his ass when he was born. Parents had money, everything like that. So, he gets in the position, he's able to do something like this and put it all together, and, he had a bunch of real estate. Again, silver spoon his ass. If it would have been on his own, I wouldn't have got there because just no one liked him. He was just a complete asshole. It's just freaking unbelievable, this guy's mentality. It's just absolutely baffling. But I got some other ones here that I have been sent, and these are a little bit interesting. This person, they working at a company, and he informed his boss that hey, I'm looking for a new job. They flat out told him, hey, this is what's going on, and they'll be looking for jobs, so I'm going to be probably leaving in a few weeks, and I just want to make you aware of it. And so this person actually ended up getting a job at a customer of theirs that he dealt with, whatnot. So everything's great. He tells the boss I'm going, whatnot. So the boss says, okay, that's great, good for you, moving up, going forward, obviously. And so he tells him, hey, we'll waive the non-compete, the whole 9 yards. And, hey, things. Well, a couple days later, the boss actually calls him and informs him that he feels he should get 20% of his salary for basically facilitating this, because where he was working at with them, he would have never gotten the job because he never would have ever been social or talking with that customer. So this person had the balls to say that they wanted 20% of their salary as a commission for doing it, i.e. like a headhunter, because he felt that just because if that person wasn't working for them at that time, that they would never interacted with that customer, and then they would never had the opportunity to get the job. So this person, they felt that he deserved 20%. Okay, that's funny. And it's like you respond to that saying, you start laughing because they go, are you serious? Come on, that's a good one. And no, I'm not serious. I am serious. I want 20%. So whatever that person was, what the hell? That's just too funny. This one, this person was an assistant for this person, and this dirtbag was having multiple affairs on his wife. And, so obviously this boss was always asking this assistant because, this person probably needed the job. And, really can't just say, under moral issues, say I quit because I'm not going to facilitate this. But, so they had to help them hide their affairs from their wife. Yeah, and affairs, that's plural, because he was having affairs with multiple women. These people would come in, these women would come into his office, and he would tell his assistant, I'm in a meeting, shut and lock the door, and, do not disturb, the whole 9 yards. And asking this assistant to go out and buy flowers and jewelry and stuff for these girlfriends he was having affairs with. Never for his wife, but for the girlfriends. I mean, the dirtbag. He actually had an issue where he panicked because he used his personal credit card at a establishment he was at, and freaked out because obviously his wife would see it because it's on his personal card instead of using his company card. So he freaked out and had his assistant, gave the assistant the address where he was at, and told him it was a strip club, and to go down there and tell them to cancel and veto, take it off and then pay cash for it. Well, actually, the address was a massage parlor. So the guy was there getting a handy or something probably. Unbelievable. But this is a good one. This, person, she was an executive assistant, and her boss actually went to a coworker's wedding because he had a question about something only that this person could answer. And even though he wasn't invited, nothing like that, knew where it was at though, just showed up. And then one of the groom's relatives was actually a police officer, so she was escorting this boss out, but he wouldn't leave. He had then back at work he tried to have that coworker written up over what happened, and she ended up quitting right before her honeymoon. I mean, what a jerk. That's just being petty. Because he wouldn't let me get the answer because, I'll show you. I'm going to write you up at work and put this in your file. I mean, that's just sad. You know what? When someone, that's the person that gets authority that goes to their head. They think they have ultimate control of you so they can control your life. Just make you absolutely miserable knowing you can't do anything about it. What the fuck? I mean, that's just horrible, horrible person. And people like this are just absolutely just worthless. But then, this kind of relates to the phone call I got from the idiot when I was at the doctor's office. But this was like 10 times worse. This person was actually getting chemotherapy. Yes, they had cancer. They were getting chemo. They had a chemo session, and their boss showed up a lot, asked wanting to come in because they had a question only this person could answer. So I was sitting there thinking, they kept coming in, and he would lie, say he was family, everything, because this person had told the hospital staff he's not allowed in here. He's not family, whatnot. So he would just be sneaky about it. He would wait till everyone was gone, or he found a way, wait till someone stepped away and just walk in. And he just would go in there and bug this person while they're getting chemo. Can you believe that? I mean, that's just horrendous. I mean, that's just absolutely horrendous. This next one, and I think a lot of us have had this or know what's going on. And, and I've heard of these, instances, many of these stories. I know at my place, they would check phone records to see how many phone calls you were making, to be sure you're, doing all your calls and whatnot. And I was the manager. I was the director of sales. And they're checking on me, even though I'm supposed to be overseeing the sales team and be sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. They were checking on me to be sure I was actually doing sales calls to customers instead of like overseeing what the salespeople were doing and taking care of them and helping them. I mean, I got confronted about it. He's just like, I pulled your phone records. I was like, are you kidding me? And mind you, at this time, we were having record numbers every month. But this is how just anal and just absolutely money-grubbing piece of shit this guy was. But this person sent in, and again, heard this before, they actually put cameras everywhere, even in their offices, so they could see what was going on. And he made the comment, I would never, check in on you. You're the last person I would do that for. But the other alarming thing that they got done is, on every email sent, the person had it set up in their system that he was blind copied on every single email that went out. Talk about micromanaging. And that's what it is. This, paranoid and whatnot. You hire people for a reason, to let them do their job. You have to trust that they're doing their job. If you don't trust they're doing their job, then you know what? Then you hired the wrong person. So, I mean, just absolutely baffling. These people is just fucking pieces of shit. Now, this one's actually horrible. Kind of goes along with this chemo thing and that kind of crap. But I guess this boss, their brother needed a liver or be a donor. Obviously, as you might know, with the liver, you can actually only, take half. And, that you can still survive because it'll regenerate and regrow. And a little sidebar, I'm a big, huge Young and Restless fan. Yep, funny stuff. But I've been watching it ever since I was in college. And my roommate got me hooked on it one day when we got snowed out of going to class. And he watched it every day, so I got stuck watching it. And then, lo and behold, so 30-plus years later, I'm still watching it every day. But anyways, there's a whole thing on that storyline about that. So, but anyways, so this person, the boss, owner of the company, had a brother that needed a liver transplant. So they sent out a company-wide memo saying that every employee had to go get tested to see if they were a suitable donor for their brother. No exceptions. I mean, that's ballsy. And they actually had the branch manager and their assistant go around to everybody to schedule days off for people so they could go get tested. And people that declined, they were fired. So even if you were not eligible to do it, because like this person, they were in remission from cancer, they weren't eligible to do it because of what they've gone through like that. And the surgery, they couldn't even do it. But it's just unbelievable. This person actually thought that they had the power to fire someone if they didn't refuse to sign up. Talk about lawsuit. I mean, that's what I would have done. I mean, I wouldn't have said yes anyways because this person wasn't a relative of mine or direct family member, brother, father, whatnot. I mean, someone like that, obviously you do it for, but someone you don't even know just because it's your boss's brother, sorry, not nice person and all, but that ain't gonna happen. I mean, so I'd say no and then fire me and sue the shit out of them and own the company myself. This one's kind of this is kind of funny. But this is just kind of, it's a, all right. So this person, they called out sick because they had to go to a funeral because obviously they had a relative, whatever, die. So they had to go to the funeral, to service, the whole 9 yards. So she was out on bereavement leave and the boss wasn't happy with her being off so long, since it was out of control. He doesn't get to approve or deny or leave anything because HR department was in charge of that. So, hey, they said, yeah, oh, God, yeah, someone died. Hey, there you go. You have your time off, what you need. Well, this Yahoo, he gave this person an envelope with a coworker's name on it and told her it was just, a condolence card. And, if you could take it to the gravesite, and give it to him. Well, this person knew that they'd already sent a condolence card because she had signed it. So she's like, okay, this is just complete bullshit. Because she knew that they'd already sent it. So she passed it once and said, hey, look, I know we already sent one out. What is this? Well, it actually turns out he needed some questions answered ASAP that this person could only answer. So they was going to have this individual go to the funeral, go to the gravesite, hand this to this person under the guise it was a condolence card, and give it to him. But he had questions on there that he needed answered. I mean, that's just, and I guess because, the boss was trying to call her and she wouldn't answer his calls, either business or personal cell phone. And so he goes, I'll figure this out. I'll just do it this way. God, what an asshole. I mean, and here's the thing too is he that dumb he couldn't, actually figure it out himself? I mean, if he knows what's going on, he should be able to understand it. I mean, unbelievable. But anyways, kind of want to wrap this little episode up. Guys, appreciate you guys out there listening. And like I said, if you guys got some stories or whatnot you got to, that happened to you, send them on over to isyourbossanidiot@gmail.com. We'll get them on the show and have some laughs about it. Or, hey, reach out. Maybe get you on the podcast also. But, hey, guys, I appreciate you listening. Everyone out there, have a great one. And we will talk to you soon. Later.